This job grew me. This job stretched me. This job could have broken me if I would have given into it. This is the world of commercial work when you're just getting into it, folks, and making the jump from small little residential enhancements and installs into a big commercial project that you're not necessarily prepared for, but you got to take the jump one day, and you just got to go both feet in and be ready to ride the waves. That's what we did here most recently through the winter time and early spring on a large commercial church project that we were honored to be a part of. I learned so much through this process, guys. I want to take that and break that down for you all today. Start to finish, top to bottom, pretty much everything in between of what we learned along the way, what I did right, what I would do differently, and how we're going to grow down the road because of this. Thank you for tuning in. Let's hop into the Growing Green podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Growing Green podcast. Your host, Jeremiah Jennings, is the owner of Growing Green Landscapes in Birmingham, Alabama, and has a passion for growing the entrepreneurship community for those who are young in business. Being a business owner isn't easy, especially in the early years, and that's why in this show we dive into a wide range of topics covering all the challenges small business owners deal with. Even if your company is generating $1 million or more, the stories from our great guest and Jeremiah's own firsthand experiences will propel your business forward. And now, here's your host, Jeremiah Jennings.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another episode today here on the Growing Green podcast. This is your host, Jeremiah Jennings, and I am excited to come to you today with another fresh new episode for you here on your Thursday. If you're having a great week so far, give me a big hand clap or something. Blink if you're in trouble, and I heard that blink. Trust me, I know a lot of you did, and just to let you know, I heard it. You're not alone. Hope your week is going well for real, guys, and you're having a good spring rush so far. I know you're in the thick of it. I'm in the thick of it. We're all in the thick of it. Into the thick of it. Remember that song that came out like 2020, something like that? That TikTok sound? Anyway, welcome in, guys. Welcome into the show, and I'm excited. Forgive my voice today. I've had this like allergy cold thing. I don't even know what it is for the last couple of weeks, and I can't seem to shake it. I'm beginning to think it is some sort of allergy, which is really no good for me because I work outside for a living. But when I get moving for the day, it's really not that bad. I have a little bit of like drainage and things, but it's not that bad. But it's only developed the last year to year and a half. I've never had allergies my entire life. Never had this in the spring or my voice or anything gets changed or anything like that. No nasal drainage or anything. The last couple of years I've had it 2 years in a row now. So this is no good. I'm not a fan of it, but we're going to fight through. We're going to keep pushing, guys. I hope you have taken advantage and looked into the Break Records Tour by LMN. It's coming to you 6 cities over the course of the next 7 months. It is going to be really a great tour. It is one that I think you should go be a part of. You can use code Jeremiah 100 and get in for $100 off. That'd be $7.95 as opposed to $8.95. It is going to be very in depth, plain and simple. You're going to go to 6 cities. Well, you're not. The tour is Arlington, Virginia, Calgary, Alberta, Minneapolis, Minnesota, Boston, Massachusetts, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Detroit, Michigan. That is going to be the stop list. Day one, you're going to get Sam Gimbel on the main stage, guys. You're going to get the financial clarity that you're probably all searching for, pricing frameworks, and you're going to talk through people and systems, team systems that actually work. And then a huge part of this is going to be focused on AI tools that you can use, how you're going to use AI to actually implement your business. Sam's got an amazing business up there in Michigan, rock and rolling. That's just day one. Day two is you're going to get behind the backstage, the back scene, the behind the scenes tour of a landscape company that is up and running. Brian Fullerton's going to take you on that tour and MC it. You're going to get to just talk with your peers. You're going to get to see systems inside of a real business, what's actually working, and you're going to take away actionable items to go implement back in your business the next Monday when you get home. So I'm pumped for this. I'm going to try to make it to one of these events. I don't know which one yet, but I'm going to try to make it to one of them. I hope you get to go to the one that's closest to you. I know that it's a busy time. I know that $800, $900 is nothing to scoff at, right? That is a hefty ticket price, but you're going to get 2 full days of information, right? And I mean, obviously all your meals and things are included in this, and it's just one of those things that you don't want to miss. Like whenever Element puts anything on, they do it right. You're going to get to go. Let me run through this list here real quick, and I'll move on. But I'll tell you the place you're going to get to go. You're going to get to, so in Virginia, you're going to get to go to Avanza Landscape. That's the first one. By the way, that's May 28th. That's the end of this month. You're going to get to go to Alberta. You're going to get to go to CLS Landscape. You're in Minneapolis. You're going to go to Minnesota Sodding Company. That's Tom Groh, I believe. And so they are an amazing organization. Downer Brothers is who's going to be in Massachusetts. Local Roots in Pennsylvania, which is going to be a don't miss. That's probably going to be the one that I'm going to try to make it to transparently. And then you're going to get to go to Troy Clog in Michigan in November. So that PA one, that Pennsylvania, October 29th to the 30th, guys. Let's just go ahead and I'm going to asterisk that. It's like that's probably going to be the one that I'm going to. We'll talk more about it along the way, but I'm going to try to make it out to that one and get to see what it's all about. So you guys take advantage, go to the one that's closest to you, and just dive in, guys. These are the things that are going to help you grow your business. These type of events are going to help you actually move the needle forward and help you make more money at the end of the day so your business is more profitable, so you can grow, add services, so on and so forth. Well, let's hop into today's show. I want to talk to you very clearly, very openly about this project we're on. So before I start this, I want to say that anyone in the world can listen to the show. It's out there to the public, right? So I understand that. There will probably be some things in here that are like, I can't believe you said that on the air. It is what it is. I will make it very clear and very just open in the air that I have had an amazing GC to work for on this project. Our GC for this project has been nothing but awesome. They've given me a lot of leeway. They have given me some extensions on time. We've had some deadlines to hit. They've been fantastic. They have paid their bills on time and very well. Like, guys, getting into the commercial world, you really can run into some serious cash flow issues with people not paying their bills. And I know that would literally could put me out of business. It probably would have put me out of business it wouldn't have put me out of business, but it would have put me in a bad spot if our GC for this project did not pay their bills on time. So shout out to Milam and Co. They are essentially who build our city and its surrounding areas. They've been fantastic. I've gotten to make some friends over there through this process, working because they're working on a project right next to this one, and so I get to talk to a couple of their guys every day, and it's been a really, really, really good opportunity to get in, learn, and grow. This was for our church, so this was for First Baptist Church of Trussville, and I am super honored to be a part of that church as well. Like, you hear us talk about faith and things on this show, on Marriage Monday, on Cultivated. Like, our faith is something that we take very, very seriously, and we root that in Christ, but we disciple it and grow inside of First Baptist Church Trussville. That church is just a building, but the people in the church is what makes it up, right? And we have some amazing people there, amazing community there, and I don't want to take that for granted. I want to thank them for the opportunity as well. They've given me a great opportunity to be out on this project. There's a lot of contractors they could have chosen, and I'm honored to be the one that they chose. So it has been a true honor to be able to do these things and this project. But so with those things out of the way, I really just that's just the truth, man. That's just the truth. I'm so thankful. So heading into this project, this was, we are all but done. We have some warranty work left out there that we'll see over the next couple months. I'm sure we'll have some stuff that will be done. But other than that, we are wrapped up out there by the time you're hearing this. And this has been a very testing, trying couple months for myself and our business. We took this project on in the middle of February, and we, I think, found out about it about 2 weeks before we started, a week and a half to 2 weeks before we started. So it was not a very quick, it was not a very long, drawn-out process as opposed to a quick process. it was a very quick process. We didn't have a lot of time ahead of time to prep and plan. We got plans. It was kind of last minute. We had to really work on some numbers on our estimate and tighten things up. And we ended up getting the job. I believe the last couple months have been so crazy, I don't remember. But I think it was 2 to maybe 3 weeks before we started work out there. And so it was awesome, right? Like, let's go. I put a lot of work into this estimate. I chose to not do the irrigation portion of this project. The irrigation portion of this project was a huge portion. It was almost probably 30%, maybe a little more. 30 to 40% of this project was irrigation, because it was 25 zones, I believe, is what this system ended up being. And it was nothing for the faint of heart, I'll tell you that, because it was through parking lots. So what this project was it was a new parking lot addition. They were adding on the end of a building, and in addition to that building, or in addition to that add-on, they are extending the parking lot majorly. We doubled our parking size. So parking lot creation was, there's probably 7 different sections of parking lot that all got added in. And it was a lot of turf. A lot of irrigation, a lot of islands, because the way this project ran, or the way this design was created, was that it was very plant heavy. And so we did not do the landscape design. We were coming in off of another designer's plans that had been drawn. Part of the process in the beginning, why it was so kind of hectic, and I know it was we only had those 2 to 3 weeks, was we did a lot of revisions on those plans, because the plans that were drawn originally had an astronomical amount of plants on this thing, way too many trees. It was way overboard for what this needed to be for this church use. And we talked with the members of the church, or we talked with the committee at the church, the finance committee that was overseeing this project. And I was like, look, we have to figure something out with this. They had to figure something out. They were like, we're not spending this much money on this. It's like, okay, let's do some revisions on this design first. So we went back and forth through revisions, I think 3 times, adding this, taking this, adding this, taking this. Went through that. Well, all of that changes irrigation plans. And so I sat down and went over irrigation plans with our subcontractor. And it was a busy time for all of us, right? Coming out of winter, coming into spring. Busy time, went over all those things. So we got a plan, right? We got a great plan going forward. Here we go. These are the changes we're making. Boom, let's go. And so we get into it, and we start grading. We have a ton of dirt work to do. We probably spent a week out there just moving dirt. We had to rip up a bunch of sod that had been laid previously from another contractor on another portion of the city project. We had to take all that out. We brought in 20 triaxle loads of topsoil to backfill islands. For you guys up north, you're calling boulevards. In between the parking lot sections, we had to bring them up to grade in preparation for sod. And so we brought a lot of dirt in. During that time, we had irrigation going in. They started putting irrigation in, and they put all that in, ran all the pipes and everything that we needed to, and got all that done in a couple of days. So we started putting dirt in, and all of this is going on while we, like I said, have to manage a couple other. We were on a project all winter with a residential customer that we were still on. We weren't out of there yet. And so we were having to bounce back and forth. Luckily, they were 3 minutes away from each other. That's why you have a tight service area, is because you don't have to drive all over creation. We literally could be from one to the other in 3 minutes. Probably faster than that. But that was going on. So we were having to bounce back and forth a little bit. We got out of that residential, and then we were full force church. And so I had a Leanscaper event come up during this, and I had a vacation I had planned for a long time going to Yellowstone to snowmobile come up during this project as well. So I was personally out for about a week's time for both those events combined, and that was kind of stressful because it was 2 separate weeks. It was multiple days of 2 separate weeks. So a lot of progress happened while I was not there, and it's not to say my guys couldn't do it, but it was a big project, and we're a small company. It's just that simple. It was a very big project, and it was a small company, and we had never done one before. So irrigation went in. We got our first round of sod in, and I thought irrigation was going to get hooked up sooner than it did. It did not, and so sod was down. And this is Emerald Zoysia. It's not Bermuda. So if you guys lay Bermuda, you can let Bermuda turn as brown as a cardboard box just about, and it'll come back as long as you get water on it. Zoysia, not that way. Zoysia's got to have water. It cannot turn brown. Once it turns brown, it's pretty much gone. And so we laid sod because I was like, man, we got to get on this thing. We had an Easter deadline. Easter was the very first week of April, I believe, this year. And so we had about 6 weeks. 6 to 8 weeks is what we had on this project to get everything done correctly and ready for Easter. And so we were like, man, we got to start laying sod. We had 3 trucks of sod come. We had right at 30,000 square feet of sod that had to go down on this portion. We had another 20,000. We had another like 10 to 12,000 on this front portion that we just finished. So we started laying sod, and it was, from the get-go, just a little bit chaotic because we had sod go down, irrigation wasn't on yet, and we were going back and forth on that a little bit. We got irrigation turned on. Well, then plants start rolling. And so we get our plant order, our tree order. I had to source a bunch of trees that this designer, they're not super common trees. I've only found one other place I found 2 places that have them. And I didn't find the other place that had them until after we got them, or I would have used this place because it's way cheaper and way better quality trees. But we can't change that now. Tree order came while I was in Cape Coral for Landscaper. And so that was a little bit stressful because one thing that this was my first rodeo on this project, right? So I didn't necessarily know how to go about like what pay terms were going to be, what deposits were going to be. Like, I'm just going off what the GC's telling me and what their schedule is. And so I did, and because it was so late, kind of like getting to the ball, there wasn't a bunch of time. There wasn't 30 days to submit an invoice for materials ahead of time. So we rushed a portion of this as a material deposit, but we blew through that real quick because irrigation subs got materials plus plant material. We got plant material coming and sod, and so we had gotten that check and we blew through that real quick because we had we had trees come and we had sod come, and I have payroll every week, right? Let's not think about that. Let's not forget about that. And so that's where I'll come back to in a little bit and talk about the cash flow portion. But I just want to walk through the project first. So we got trees in, and we didn't get them all in when we needed to. We kept having the auger we were using. Huge thanks to my buddy Tristan for letting us borrow that, by the way. It saved us so much time and effort on this project. And so he took care of us there. And we got the auger, but we kept having an adapter issue, and we had to get like 4 different quick connects to finally get it fixed right. And so that kind of slowed us down. We spent probably 7 to 10 man hours on that, just trying to get that thing fixed. And that was annoying, but we got the trees all in. We had a couple places where trees weren't going yet. We weren't in that portion of the project. So some trees got stressed because they didn't get in the ground fast enough. And again, it was pouring rain in the beginning. That's part of it that I don't want to miss is in the very beginning, we got rained out 3 weeks straight, 2 days a week, minimum. 3 weeks straight, 2 days a week minimum. We got rained out of that site because we were doing so much dirt work. There was nothing else we could do because it was just mud. We could not work in the dirt, right? It was literally mud. And so we lost a week of work just from rain in the beginning. We had all that rain, and then we went dry as a dog. Like, I had never seen dry as a desert, whatever. I don't know if a dog's dry or not, but that's what came to mind. We were dry as the Sahara. We went 30-plus days with no rain, not a drop of rain. So let's remember, that's when that Zoysia went down, right after all that rain came in. I think we got 1 or 2 little showers after it went down, but it was not much. And so Zoysia gets stressed. Obviously, that adds stress to my plate. Trees get delivered. We started putting trees in the ground, and we don't have all the heads on the irrigation or anything yet, and so that's stressful. Some trees got laid out for an extended period of time because we weren't on that portion of the project, so they got stressed out. And all of that to say, like, this was a stressful time, right? Because we were managing, again, I'm managing this project while also having to do some other residential work that cash flows because I got to make payroll every week. I got 5 guys that rely on me. And so we were having to mix this in all while battling just the normal spring rush. And so fast forward, we'll go long story and condense it a little bit here. We get all of our sod, we get all of our plants, we get all that stuff in the ground. It's cleanup days. We had a Good Friday deadline. That was our like, we got to be out of here. Good Friday at 6:00. That was when we had service. And we rolled out of that place at 5:15 on Good Friday. It was crazy, but we got it. And it was 95% of the way done by that point. We finished the 5% in the last week or so here recently. But, man, it was crazy. It was stressful. Long days out there. Our team killed it. My guys killed it. Our landscape foreman that's no longer with us ran this project. He did an amazing job. If he ever heard this show or whatever, I would tell him, and I've told him to his face, like, he did an amazing job out there. He made this project happen. And I'm very thankful and appreciative for him on that front. I've been pretty open about, like, things I've learned along the way before this is maybe I haven't done I haven't. I did not do a good job of making them feel supported, I believe, during this project maybe, and maybe let them feel alone sometimes because the way that Leanscare event felt, the way that vacation felt was just at very, very stressful times in the business, right, in this project. And so we learned that. It was his first time running a job that big. It was my first time doing a job that big, so we were both learning along the way, and it was just, like that's what that was. But we got through it, and so we get a Good Friday rollout, and then boom, we're good. So we take a week or two off, and now we're in like the back end of like, okay, we did take a couple weeks off of there because we were waiting for the city down front, waiting to see what was going to have to be warranted and what wasn't, because we did have that delay on the irrigation, and we ran into some other issues along the way that we're having to repair and fix and things. But no biggie, and warranty work's always expected on stuff like this to an extent. And so we haven't since warranted. We had a few hollies die. We had a few hollies and a few trees. That was the only thing that we really had die out here. So we've had hydrangeas. We put some Fothergilla in. We put some crepe myrtles. Everything did pretty well. Our hydrangeas have done extremely well. I don't understand it. They look fake. They've done so well. And so I'm very, very pumped about that. But we all of our plant material is in, and we've worked through this first phase of warranty process. Some of these trees are just delayed coming out. They got stressed, but they got in the ground, they got water, and now they're bouncing back. They're putting out sprouts and things, and so they're coming out. We're going to wait another month or two and see what ends up taking, what doesn't take, and then we'll go back and warranty the rest of those, whatever we need to. But overall, the project looks great. In the very beginning, our mini skid steer was broken, and so on these islands, it was tough. And we have a few islands in there that are not level the way that I need them to be level. They're not smooth, and so there's really no way to fix that now without digging everything out and redoing it, and that's not really in the plan right now. Because it's not so bad. Like, I've seen commercial projects that are way worse, guys. Way worse. We have a few lumps and low spots in here. That's all I'm talking. And so we're going to wait and let it start growing a little bit and come back and sand it this summer and help level and smooth it out some. Because we're going to stand behind our work, right? Like I said, all this warranty work, we're going to stand behind it. Anything that we do. And I did a presentation for our networking group that I'm in yesterday, and I was like, what does safety, quality, reliability mean to us? That safety piece is all of our people go home happy and healthy every day. Maybe not happy, but at least healthy. All of our people go home healthy every day, and they come back the next day ready to go. And their families get taken care of. That reliability and quality, those two kind of go together. And they're going to have someone that shows up and gets the job done. And the quality piece is we're going to do a good job, and the times we do mess up, we're going to fix them. We're going to stand behind it. I'm never going to burn a relationship over something not getting done to our standard. And that is just plain and simple how I'm going to run my business, and that I believe will do dividends for us down the road. I think it will pay off for us. That's not why I do it. It already has paid off for us. It's just me as a human. Like I'm going to stand by what we do. I'm going to take care of our customers. I'm going to make sure that we do things right. So anyway, we're working through that process now. That is just the scale. There's so many things in and out of there, so many little things that we don't even, it's not worth talking about on the show or anything like that, and we'd be here all day. But that is the overall top to bottom on the actual production of the job. So I'm going to move to probably what you care about the most. Like, what were the biggest challenges? What were the biggest hurdles? What have been the biggest things that you've learned along the way? I will tell you, you probably have it. If you haven't guessed so far, you're probably living under a rock, right? The biggest hurdle that we've had so far have been by far the finances. It has been tough. We will probably end up losing money on this job. I'm not fully job costed it yet. I'm going to. We'll probably end up losing some money on this job at the end of the day. I was talking to a buddy yesterday about it, though, and he was like, yeah, you know what? I had an electrical company that we did some work with, and he told me early in his career he had a job that was supposed to be bid between 180 and 200. He bid it at 80. And he said, you know what they tell me? Say education isn't free. And I would have paid a lot of money to go learn those things that I just learned, or not learn those things I just learned, because it's not real world, like hands-on things in school, right? And so there's some validity to that. I've not lost $120,000 on this project. That would be very, very, very bad. But I've not done that. We'll probably lose a little bit of money on this. Our biggest thing that we're over on is hours. Our material came in right spot on. We did not make a lot of profit on our material, but we did not spend more than what we had costed for the material. Our profit percentage was not there on the material, but our true cost, we did not spend that much more than that on materials. And so that was a huge blessing to be able to not take an L there. Our man hours, we've got hosed on. Some of that is to do with some of the irrigation problems that we had early on. But again, nothing major. Like, we got through that. That's not an issue. It is what it is. We fixed things and we moved on. Some of it was because of that. Some of it was because we had to do extra work in the beginning, removing that sod that we weren't planning on when I sent the proposal. And so there were probably a few change orders along the way that I should have requested and made. Again, my rookiness in this industry, I don't know what I can and can't ask for. I hope I look back on this job in 10 years and say, dude, I was an idiot. Like, I can't believe I didn't ask for these things, or I didn't say I was doing these things or wasn't doing these things. But, guys, my relationship right now with Milam gets out there. My relationship building with them is what's the most important to me, because I want to do long-term work with them. And that's what I'm not telling you all to go lose money. What I'm telling you is to not go into something and act like you know what you're talking about when you actually don't. Because I don't know about this world. I'm still learning it, right? When they started their company, when Mike Milam started his company years and years and years ago, he probably didn't know everything about the GC world. He probably learned a lot, and he probably lost some money along the way. That's part of it. And you're going to have these things happen to you, and guess what? That's part of it. How well can you weather the storm? If you can weather the storm and get to the other side and stay standing, then you've made it. On to the next one. So the finances have been tough. The other side of this was, so yeah, we're over on hours, things like that. Where that hurts us the most is we're spending more time here that we're not spending on other projects producing more revenue. That's how you quantify that, if you couldn't do that already. And the cash flow portion has been very hard, because just the general invoicing terms for commercial work is net 30 days. That's pretty solid, right? Like I said, praises to Milam. That's what I'm talking about, is they've done great. They've been a great partner. I'm not complaining about them at all. What I am saying is net 30 is still net 30. Like, let that sink in. Net 30 is net 30. So you submit an invoice, you ain't getting paid for net 30, right? So get your work done. My suggestion is try to work with the GC on invoice schedules. Have those invoiced early on in the project to where when that net 30 is up, you know you'll be done with that work, so you get paid quicker. That's how I'll go about it in the future. I'll have these conversations ahead of time and be like, okay, what can we do here to make this flow easier? Because also materials, like I hate getting behind on vendor bills. Like I hate it. I do not do that. I do not like being behind on vendor bills. That just does not happen. And so that puts a lot of stress on you. Having $20,000 of sod, $20,000 of plants, all these things come in, and you're like, where's my money, right? So learning through that process has been very challenging. And again, that is us working on this project for 3 to 4 weeks at a time with not any real revenue coming in because we're getting invoiced, we're getting payments in like lump sums. So we're not getting small little bits along the way. We're getting lump sum invoices. So we get a big one come, but then you're not getting another one for a couple of weeks. That's when we literally physically had to take other time, and I and another crew had to go, like we had to split off and take a couple of guys. We were shorthanded at the church because we had to have a couple of guys go and doing other things. We were still running the mow schedule, right? This was all in the middle of spring startup for mowing. So that's where more stress was the startup for mowing was very chaotic. We added clients, we dropped clients the way that I didn't like dropping clients, but it was so chaotic. I made so many mistakes this spring. Like it's been a very, very challenging spring. I've made a ton of mistakes. I've learned a lot, but it's been one, right? It's been one. And so we were out having to go do other projects because we, again, had to turn revenue to get people paid every week and to get myself paid, right? And to keep our bills paid. So anyway, it was very, very challenging, but very, very eye-opening, and it's been a good learning experience. The cash flow is the hard thing. Timelines of work, that was another hard one that I'm trying to learn and get figured out. Like next time I'll have a much more detailed plan and plan of attack with my irrigation sub if I don't do it in-house by that point. If we do another something like this, I will have a very, very in-depth conversation about my irrigation sub, about like what's the plan, how we going, when are we starting, what's going here, what's going there. Let's make sure everybody's on the same page. And so when I get that set, it'll help us get timelines for all of our plants, all of our sod, all of our dirt work, all that stuff goes into play. And so it was a learning process. If you haven't heard me say that before 100 times, you're going to hear it a lot more because we weathered the storm. We've made it through. We have a lot of catching up to do. We're not in the spot where I would like to be at this point in the season, but we are rocking and we're learning and we're growing. It's only a failure if you get to the other side and you don't take anything away from it and get better. If you don't learn and you don't get better and improve, that's when you can consider it a failure. I'm not going to do that until I look and say I'm not learning anything, and that's just not the case. Like I'm learning something every single day. We're figuring it out, taking it one day at a time, and we've made it through. And I'll share more about this as we can down the road, guys, but I hope that just like gives you a little bit of a perspective into what this commercial space looks like. And I will tell you, people, I don't know that I've talked size of the project. It was a 6-figure plus project. That is where this project ended up being. And so it was my previous biggest job before that was sub 50,000. Okay. So we tripled just about our project size in one project. And the logistics for that just are so much different and so much more. It's just crazy. There's really no way to quantify it until you do it. So I will try to help as many of you along the way as I can. If you have any questions about this space, let me know. I don't have it figured out. Still don't have it figured out. Still going to learn a lot and have a lot to fix along the way. But hopefully, it can give you a little bit more insight on some things that we learned over the last couple of months through our wins and through our losses. So, guys, I appreciate you. I care about you. If I can help you at all, reach out and let me know. Instagram, email, phone number, whatever. I am in the field right now. I'm very, very, very busy day to day. I am in the field, and so if I don't get back to you immediately, it's just because I'm probably putting a plant in the ground or in an excavator or something like that. So give me a day or so, and I'll get back to you the fastest I can. But I couldn't do it without you. I couldn't. I love the support that we get here on the show. I love talking to you all at trade shows and events and hearing how the show's helped you in a positive way and had a positive impact. That's what it's about for me, is, again, impacting people. So thank you for tuning in, guys. Please share the show with your friends. Give it a big 5-star rating or review if you don't mind. That's help us grow the show. Keep on coming back. I value your time tremendously. I want to keep bringing the most value that I can to you. So without any further ado, guys, let's wrap this one up. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you here on the next one. See you guys.
Thanks for tuning in to the Growing Green podcast. It is an honor to have you listening, and we hope you receive valuable advice to help take your business to the next level. Don't forget to follow the podcast so you'll be notified when our next episode drops.